Hello, everyone. We're going to wait a few minutes just to make sure everybody gets on the live. Go tell your friends, get yourself situated, get yourself some tea, um, be comfortable, make sure you're in a good place. While folks are tuning in and coming into the live, we want to say thank you for joining us during this time. Please feel free to reach out to your friends, share it with your folks. Um, Des says she's hype as hell. What up, Des? Welcome, everyone. We know that people have been waiting for this, and so um, before I begin with my formal introduction, I just want to say that thank you to everyone who has been witnessing and being a part of the Homemade series every 1st and 15th of the month. It has been a real incredible time, being able to share art and poetry and remedies with you all. And I hope that you have found it useful in your lives during this time. As we start to get folks to tune in, I'm going to begin with the introduction. I just want to say thank you to Haymarket and John, who's behind the scenes, making sure that everything runs smoothly. And we have an incredible lineup today for all of you, which I think is needed and necessary. So let's begin. For those of you who are tuning in and don't really know what you're tuning into, you just saw it on somebody's page, somebody tagged you and said, come on, come join me in watching this. We are all experiencing a life-changing transitional collective experience under this post-COVID-19 reality. And therefore, as we try to maintain our humanity, we are throwing these virtual sort of events to connect with one another in spite and because of. My name is Aja Monet. I'm a poet, originally born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My first full collection of poems, which is published on Haymarket Books. Please go to haymarketbooks.org and make sure you look at their incredible collection. My book is called My Mother Was a Freedom Fighter. I currently live in Little Haiti, Miami, where I'm the co-founder of a grassroots arts collective and studio space called Smoke Signal Studio, as well as a facilitator and founder of Voices Poetry for the People, in collaboration with the Community Justice Project. Shout out to Community Justice Project, which is a movement lawyer organization, and has been helping folks on the front line to create defense and bailout funds. We follow the revolutionary blueprint of June Jordan, and we create in the legacy of sovereign maroon communities across the state of Florida. Homemade Poetic Remedies for the Times is a virtual poetry reading and showcase that began in response to COVID-19 reality, where we are being told by the state to stay home and practice quote unquote social distancing. We wanted to offer people literal homemade remedies and pathways to healing, as well as medicinal poems that can provide freedom, dreams, visions, and expand our imagination. I want to start today by just acknowledging that I'm not okay. I don't feel okay about this moment. And I'm struggling, as so many of us are, through an array of emotions: anger, frustration, outrage. There's almost no words for where this hurt, this pain, and this resilience is coming from. I mean, it's ancient. It goes way back. As the world is in deep, profound transition and people are waking up, painfully so, we can name that COVID has transported us into a realm of radical truth and honesty. I see this as a sort of like initiation for our society to be undone and transformed. And as the country is exposed and confronted for the deep pain, horror, and violence inflicted, particularly on Black people, we recognize and stand in solidarity with all those who have had to bear the brunt of the illness that is white terrorism and its imprisoned imagination. We commit to the legacy of truth tellers, of lovers and healers. We stand in our anger, and we become warriors of each of our own souls, addressing the trauma that is America so that the hurt can no longer run and dictate our lives. Black people, I believe Black people of America are the true portal of the soul and the dignity of humanity. I am grateful for collective rage, for all the times I had fire in my throat, trembling with truth, afraid of my own tongue. I welcome you all to the movement. If you were never before a part of one, please join us. We welcome the fury of a million day-to-day rebellions. We welcome the world, and may this anger be channeled into radical love for one another. Today on Homemade, we are coming together to unify under the power of tone and cadence that helps us see and feel the unseen, to remember, to recall, to reconcile us, and to experience this living, this moment. Songs, like poems, are a source of truth and refuge. A song is a poem, and a poem is a song. The word's divine musical union with melody transforms our listening and how attentive we are to the energy of that listening. Songwriting is a form of artistic expression that demands a gentle witnessing to the world around you. The strength of a good song comes from the same source and strength as a good poem: imagery, metaphor, rhythm, wordplay, and tone. Singers cannot force a feeling no more than poets a poem. The true gift of such artists is to be seamstresses with words, to make the words fit like a well-tailored suit or dress, to make them hum off your lips, a body buzzing in affirmation. The emotional urgency of a song makes the song most authentic to the moment, and the better one gets at capturing that moment, the better the language reflects the immediacy of our experience. The relationship between stanzas or verses is the poetic work of songs and chants. We, as organizers, have much to learn from our singers and our songwriters, and we ought to cherish them. As someone who considers themselves to be a surrealist blues poet of sorts, meaning that largely I am influenced and inspired by the blues, the earliest verses were developed from work songs in the field and the prison yard. You can tell by a song its purpose in the world and what it is called to do based on its rhythmic phrasing and the stories it tells. Who is it speaking to and for? We ought to democratize the song like food and housing and healthcare. Each one of us should find ourselves weaving sound, full-throated and free from our souls, in the shower, in the kitchen, down the street. What a world it would be if we all could use our voice with such audacity at the meetings, at the vigils, at the demonstrations, in the workshops, at the conferences. This is our call to freedom songs. Pete Seeger once said, "Once upon a time, wasn't singing a part of everyday life as much as talking, physical exercise, and religion? Our distant ancestors, wherever they were in this world, sang while pounding grain, paddling canoes, or walking long journeys. Can we begin to make our lives once more all of a piece? Finding the right songs and singing them over and over is a way to start. And when one person taps out a beat while another leads into the melody, or when three people discover a harmony they never knew existed, or a crowd joins in on a chorus as though to raise the ceiling a few feet higher, then they also know there is hope for the world." So I welcome you all tonight to join us in an incredible list of songwriters who are going to share their words, and may we all know the hope of this moment. Let us begin. The first poet, who is also a songwriter, I'm such a fan. I grew up in Urban Word NYC in New York City as a young poet, and Ellison Glenn was a big part of my upbringing and their wordsmithery. And Coco Rosie was there's so much I could say, but I'm gonna go into talking about this person as an incredible thinker, artist, performance artist. I had a privilege to speak with them and to witness some of their work. I hope you all please go follow them online. They're teaching a workshop in June or July, I believe. I'll put it in the link in the stream. And please join me in welcoming all the way from France to the virtual stage, Bianca Cassidy.
Hello, everyone out there. My name is Bianca. It's a pleasure to be here. Speaking about practices that can help in everyday staying centered and being able to process so much transformation. My basic go-to is to write a morning page. And I don't think you have to be a poet or a creative writer per se to really benefit from this. I try to do it as close to waking up as I can. So I tend to start with, if I remember some dreams, and then I just write what's going on in the present tense, and eventually whatever is circling around in my mind will start to find its way onto the page. And it feels like a kind of a simple way to reset and start the day. You have this moment to experience, to objectify what is circling inside the mind. Maybe you don't have a chance to speak with somebody, or maybe you want to actually get in touch with your own thoughts before speaking with others. So just wanted to offer that little morning page practice. I try to write a full page and don't look back, and don't try to write anything good. So I just want to share that. And now I'll just jump into a few poems and a few songs. And like you said, a poem is a song and a song is a poem. I experienced that a lot in my writing. Sometimes it's a poem first, and then I add melody, and sometimes the other way around. But start with a little love song. I love everything about you, even the way you tie your shoes. And now that it's the two of us, how do you expect me to sing the blues? I'm mostly pink, warm silver moon. Is this heaven? I've lost my head. Is this a dream? What are you scheming? Don't leave my side. I couldn't bear it. I love everything about you, even the way you chew your food. I'm yours for good, for goodness sake. Even if we turn a scary page, we can repair. I know it's so. And this is how the story goes. No more weeping, wallowing walls. I love everything about you, even the way you brush your teeth. It's fine with me, 'cause you're my queen. I'll kiss your feet and cook you meat, fatten you up so there's more for me to love. I will not hush the milky rush of doves oozing out the swollen flop house of my old man mouth, clumsily fumbling the common flower in my pocket for endless hours, speaking her name into the hair of a dead girl, speaking her name to the wet eyes of an angel. The church of ocean, I am devoted, slain the black memory of burning weeds. I remember the noiseless eyes of a wolf majestic, sparkling in the dark of me, and I wondered which century we'd meet. You are my best 1,000 poems, the reed which leads me home, the river and the bank and the watery roots of drunken trees, the glowing softwood drifting in the dark of me. The silence of bones, music unheard but known, of twilit tones with you, I am alone. In the golden arms of the divine, my shadow unhides to dare a dance. The trance is broken, the sleepwalking river of me buckles at the knees, heart first into the sea. Here's another little song. I forgot to look at the clock when I started, so somebody can give me like a 2 minutes warning. Maybe I'm already there. This is called The Show Is Almost Over. I may complain about the tea stains on my brain, a quilted mesh of butterfly membranes, some old tapes, list of scars from lost horse race. It's November, hard times are here. Shoot me up with something good so I can drift off unaware of the gloomy looming light, inviting only drowsy angels whose tales have already been told. Close the book. They're sleeping in their shoes to keep warm. Winter pushing in like thoughts of sin. The loneliness of a spinster's spin. Spiders taking over everything. Don't even wait for me to leave. And I don't ever use umbrellas in the rain. I don't ever use umbrellas in the rain. I collect them in a pile of old suitcase. Who's wrong, the John or the whore? Loneliness taking over, moth spreads her wings. Getting old in winter and the dawn begins to creep. The show is almost over, the dawn begins to creep. The show is almost over.
Thank you. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you so much. Please, y'all, follow Bianca online. She has incredible prompts that she shares with folks to get them writing. Also, go support Coco Rosie. They're just amazing. Great bands. Please join me in welcoming next up to the virtual stage, my good friend, someone that, man, where did I first see Schaefer was at that hotel thing, Sleep No More. Yes, he was the guy at that weird after party thing, speakeasy party thing that happened. And he has this incredible voice that just really, really is guttural, comes from somewhere deep and old and ancient, and in such a great writer. So thank you for joining us. And I can't wait for everyone else to hear you. Please join me in welcoming Schaefer James.
Thank you. Thanks, Aja. Yeah, Aja and I met at the Mandalay Bar after Sleep No More. I was playing the after show. And so I wanted to start with a song I played, I know probably for one of the first times that night. I'd only written it about a month previously. And it's really, I'm so excited to be here and to share the work a little bit differently. So I'm gonna do sort of a hybrid speak and sing. And you can hear me okay, yeah? Everything's good? Great. This is called Mostly Major Chords. She found me 40 years from now, a shadow of myself. Her youth was black mascara and red wine. We talked for hours of how I thought I'd seen her somewhere else, and she was there beside me when I died. Oh, what's the point in counting when a minute is a year? Every lover has their time. Every lover has their time. Oh, what's the point in waiting when you're gone before you're here? Every lover has their time. Every lover has their time. And she found me 7 years ago in some piano bar. She told me I'd be paramount someday. She smiled the kind of smile that builds a fire in the dark. She bought me gin, then she slipped away. Oh, what's the point in counting when a minute is a year? Every lover has their time. Every lover has their time. Oh, what's the point in waiting when you're gone before you're here? Every lover has their time. Every lover has their time. And she found me 20 years ago outside my father's church, a little boy who fell and scraped his knee. And she told me I was beautiful and took away that hurt. And she said that she'd forever wait for me. Oh, what's the point in counting when a minute is a year? Every lover has their time. Every lover has their time. Oh, what's the point in waiting when you're gone before you're here? Every lover has their time. Every lover has their time. And she found me any minute now. I've waited far too long. This rocking chair is wearing through the floor. She'll smile beside herself and cry to know I've written her this song and be pleased that it's in mostly major chords. That was called Mostly Major Chords. The next song is actually, I'm working on an EP called American Anachronism. And it's sort of this representation of how America is new, but very, very old in so many ways. And I think that's clearly really relevant right now. I've been reading and hearing a lot about bad apples. There's a few bad apples, and it's no, the tree is rotten. And there's rot in me, regardless of how I was raised, it's there. And that tree is ancient, right? It's knowledge, it's life and death. So this song is called Worth the Wait. There's a tunnel burrowed underneath this white-faced wasteland. There's a woman in that ancient tree, the one that history keeps reminding me to think upon again. There's a blossom tumbling on the wind and a watchman at the gate. He's busy polishing his gun again, a gift the devil sent, with a note that told him war is worth the wait. There was a dark cloud over Chilltown. All the horses were asleep. We didn't startle when the shot rang out, but I heard someone shout, my kingdom for a peach. There were vultures circling overhead, shadowed crosses on the moon. There wasn't time enough to mourn the dead, and so we chose instead to leave a note that read, we're here and gone too soon. It doesn't matter how you color things. It doesn't matter what you say. There is a truth with no alternative. So don't pretend to live as if it's yours to give and take away. Because there's a blossom buried underneath this concrete wasteland. My heart is broken, but before I leave, I'll write a note that reads, be patient, please. Love is worth the wait. And thank you so much for listening. It's incredible to share space during this time with these incredible writers. I've been listening to everyone's music all day. It's incredible. So it's really amazing to share space with everyone. And thank you, Aja, for putting this together. I often write to prompt, and I feel like it's such an important thing right now to be listening to other artists' work and other artists' voices and connecting through that. I wrote this song as a prompt to a painting or a sketch that was called Ophelia. And I dug a little bit into the play and reimagined that character, perhaps from a different perspective. It's called Ophelia. Ophelia's forgotten how to dance. Ophelia's reminded she should smile, and veil is just a clever word for mask. Ophelia remembers how to hide. Sing it down, down, sing it down, down, oh. Ophelia's forgotten how to love. Ophelia is reminded not to scream. Promises are clever ways to bluff. And Ophelia remembers how to dream. Sing it down, down, sing it down, down, oh. Ophelia's forgotten how to sleep. Ophelia's reminded not to grieve, and have and hold are clever words for keep. Ophelia remembers how to leave. Sing it down, down, sing it down, down, oh. Ophelia's forgotten how to dance. Ophelia remembers how to leave.
Thanks, Schaefer.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
It's like the thing that's interesting about this experience is going to be like how lyrics translate versus when they're sung and when they're spoken. But it's really interesting to hear everyone, because you just learn that the process and the intent that goes into the words that sometimes people overlook. So the metaphor and the meaning. Thank you both for joining us. The next person that's about to go on the virtual stage is such a good friend of mine, and someone that I, talk to, think through things with, have grown with, and anytime I'm in LA is the person that I want to go to the vegan spot with, and make sure I get some good food. He's just a feeling of home and friendship, and also one of the greatest minds and thinkers, has been behind some incredible songs, and helping other artists tap into their creativity. So please look to Def Sound if you need a writing partner. He is probably the best person to sit and write with and think through creative ideas. He's a genius, literal genius. Please join me in welcoming to the virtual stage, Def Sound.
Thank you so much, Aja. I am honored, highly honored. I'm a genre fluid poet, MC, DJ, born, watered, and raised South Central LA. So I hope that I bring that every single time. I've been moving at the speed of life. Within this stillness got me thinking, like, does a Black body ever really die if it's never seen as life? That's as dark as my skin is, this theory is lived in. Fam, my will has no will. I am human, plus I'm hopeful. My mama used to homeschool, driving us 45 just to get us all to Whole Foods. But I would Trader Joe's at all just for access more local. Yeah, that's how wild I am. I turn Burning Man into Birmingham, I go Costa Nostra on these culture vultures. If y'all be dripping, guess I'm an ocean, okay? I super soak ya, super saiyan, I'm just saying, full disclosure. Oh my goodness, young and definitive. Y'all be so shook with it, wearing my confidence. Don't I look good in it? City on my back, just like my hoodie is. Now, if we see ourselves, then we free ourselves. That's where vision is. Nice and I'm decorated, voice of a generation. My soul is solar, don't need no generator. Exchanging my innocence for an audience. Heart on my sleeve, I guess I wear it if the trauma fits. Ain't no rules in this shit. We stuck on a loop like a gift. We get enslaved, master money, how we glorify whips, right? Man, it really don't matter how much money you get or how impressive your little following is. Race isn't real, but how it oppresses you is, fam. So while your favorite artist canceled, I'm eating plants, bro. They shoot us with our hands up. In the mirror, only time I seen an answer. Looking in the mirror, only time I seen an answer. Looking in the mirror, only time I seen an answer. Looking in the mirror, only time that The name of this poem is Haiti. The name of this poem is Here. The name of this poem is Palestine. The name of this poem is America. The name is Flint, Michigan. The name is China. The name is South Central. The name is Minnesota. The name is Johannesburg. The name is Panama. The name is Belize. The name is here. Here is a strategy. Here, we can't run away from we. Here needs a new imagination. There is nothing performative about here. Here has no guest list, no RSVP. We are here whether we want to be or not. Since I've been here, I've been reminded that freedom is health now. Freedom is breathing now. Freedom is not hating your roommate, you know, the simple shit, like a good meal. Here is a re-examination, the doing of the deep work of the unavoidable, an inventory of the soul. Here is an everyday choreography of the possible, dwelling in the wounds, really dwelling in these wounds, the deconstruction of the fiction of the stable. Here is a messy entanglement of empathy and apathy, an assemblage of fragmented people. Here, we water dancers of the mundane. We wake up, scribble scriptures, we scroll a bit, then we like a picture, sip a tincture, make a smoothie, watch a movie, and then I let the stillness really move me. We living life through cell phones, accepting cookies before ourselves though. We laughing at memes, but fear is stuck to us like Velcro. The world is so different, the veil has been lifted, the show is unscripted, but the cameras are still rolling now. So whose hands are you holding now? Restless in this wreckage. We unravel, undoing, entangled, unfolding, all in the open now. Here, we can see what your hairline really look like. What your mouth really do. Unlearning silence, using survival tactic. Here is a current event. This is where we are at play, reimagining new playgrounds. Here we must move the people while staying put. We must move the people while staying put. The revolution will be collaborative. Here, the urgency in which one must express oneself, this urge that one must remain artist even without audience. The threat we face is invisible. The virus can't vote, can't enslave. The virus has no age. The virus has no borders. The virus is here. The virus is a mirror. The virus is racism. The virus is more like a vibration. Although you can't hold it, you know that it's real. You know that it's here. When yourself threatens to smother you, you will open your mouth, not to yell or to scream, but to find your way to song, some way of breaking, some way of upheaval, some form of magic, some form of music, melanin-filled resilience. Here, we have to imagine what we are when we are not producing products. We are given a break. Here we break. Here we sanctuary. New forms of family kinship used as resistance. Here is a form of improvised connectedness. Solidarity as a weapon, a support immune system, if you will, and if you won't, that's fine. This work here is still necessary as much as it is invisible. Here we chorus. We swarm, ensemble, mutual aid society, louder than the endless record of struggle on repeat, ready to be sampled, resampled and resampled over and over, meant to be passed on like generational mixtape. Here is a soundtrack to a history that hurts. Here we chorus, we concert, we blueprint, we work song, collective calypso, organized orchestra, techno, spiritual, juju apparatus. We move here in stillness because the best musicians listen more than they play. Here we black noise finding and listening in one another. Today is what I have, and here is where I am. Today is where I am, and here is what I have. From here, me and my mother hug from 10 feet away. Sighs are filled with working from home. Me and my mother hug from 10 feet away. Eyes look like levees. Hearts weigh glaciers. Hunger for touch. Me and my mother hug from 10 feet away. Curfewed into confusion. Me and my mother hug from 10 feet away. Letting a smile peek through the uncertainty. Me and my mother hug from 10 feet away. Mouths miming I miss yous through face masks, longing for a time not so long ago. Me and my mother hug from 10 feet away, like last week. Thank you, Aja, for the space.
Ooh.
Ooh, damn, Def. You got me teary. Thank you so much for your dedication to your craft. I know that people hear that, and then I hear the pain that it takes to write it. So thank you for getting to the point of honesty to write that way. Whew. Everybody take a breath. Deep breaths. Exhale. The next poet and singer is such a joy every time I hear them to listen to their growth as a writer, as a singer, as a person. The first time I ever met Jenna Bell was through a good friend in college, in undergrad at Sarah Lawrence, who shared that they had this little band that they were making with Mara Rubri. I remember that they had this little thing they were doing, and I heard Jenna, and just her voice was angelic. And I'll never forget it. I kind of, the way I do, that Aaron can attest to, I definitely strong armed her into performing. And she was terrified, but she did incredible. And you know, I just love her. I know that we're all going through a lot, and I'm grateful that she said yes and was able to be here. Please join me in welcoming to the virtual stage the incredible and just beautiful spirit, Jenna Bell.
I write my words down for this reason. Being in a space with other writers reminds me of the importance of words and why I've invested so much in my lyrics. Because after it all fades, you know, you're left with the story, and it's yeah, it's important to listen to the stories. So here's one of mine. It's called Chapter 3, The Hatchet. Yeah. Once a grassland, now a wasteland, barren by a jealous tide, swept away history, genesis of memories of you and I. Once a highway, now a dry lane, stretches beyond the breaking dawn. Traces of the pavement play like pebbles underneath the lake, and we live on in mere nursery songs. I left roses in the garden, pebbles on the bed for you. We've lived a belly full, loved a many who couldn't shield us from the arrows pointing to the truth. I left roses in the garden, petals for the few. I pray we'll meet again. I'd rather wait than say that this is how this tale is got to be. So farewell for now. Till then. Where stood a gold mine, now a coal mine, a yellow glow that's turned to stone, vibrant colored ruby taken in the new disguise of embers close, and arms once open, senses caved in, and rubble born of mountain storms. Oh, patiently I still await for comfort in a warm embrace, but wind just blows and it's turning me cold. I left roses in the garden, petals on the bed for you. We lived to belly full, loved him anywho. Couldn't shield us from the arrows pointing to the truth. I left roses in the garden, petals for the few. I pray we'll meet again. I'd rather wait than say that this is how this tale is gotten. So farewell for now. Till then. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a bit of an escapist, to be honest. I draw a lot from what isn't there until it comes to be. Songwriting is funny for me in that I don't feel like I'm writing songs, I'm pulling them out, just biding my time until they land. And I don't even always know what it is that I'm writing until much later, but I've built the muscle to just put it down and consider it later. And I'm gonna sing something that, considering it now compared to when I wrote it, it just keeps shifting. Songs are like that. And I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, which is sing a cappella, because I can get too focused on the rightness of playing, as opposed to just letting that through. So this is called Green and Blue. And this is about the multiplicity that I feel versus what I'm allowed to be. All right. I'm wrong and I'm right and I'm both sometimes. I'm green and I'm blue, plenty nights. Thought I couldn't carry through this for some time, but I'm strong when I'm weakest and brave when I buckle my knee. I'm damned and I'm holy on the pew. I'm good and I'm evil in front of you. Oh, I can be the best friend or worst enemy to you. But I'm strong when I'm weakest and brave when I buckle my knee. I'm silver and gold in the underground. I'm copper and mold in a country town. Oh, I can be human or cold from where you stand right now. 'Cause I'm strong when I'm weakest and brave when I buckle my knee. I said I'm strong when I'm weakest and brave when I buckle my knee. Sit on strong when I'm weakest and brave when I buckle my knee.
Wow. Thank you, Jenna. I needed that song. I don't know about y'all. And yeah, Jamil said an affirmation. I know everybody who's watching on the live, you can't see. We're trying to give, the whole group is giving love when everybody can't really see, but that was really beautiful and lyrical in every which way, honest. So especially now listening to those lyrics, it helped give some context, I think, the ways I've been feeling these past few days. That line, I'm strongest when I'm weak, or weakest, or I'm strong when I'm weakest. Wishing y'all love. Hope everybody is feeling encouraged and inspired in this moment. At the very least, these are our small offerings to you all. The next person I'm really honored to introduce to the virtual stage is someone that is a Florida boy and at heart, even though everybody think he's from New York, and was a part of a great young collective of Black people just doing amazing things in Brooklyn. And there was like a whole wave of dope creatives that were bending and breaking and transforming what Black youth and creativity could be, coming from New York. And I think that Jessie has been someone that's definitely broken the mold and transformed what Black masculinity looks like, and demonstrating a love for Black women that really translates through his music, and sometimes has really funny hairdos, and is one of the people that does the craziest, most hilarious dances on stage when they're getting into it. They have this arm thing they do with their head. Yeah. Anyway, I can't wait for live performances again, because it's such a way that you get to experience the artists give their all. And he's someone that does that. He's really supported Smoke Signals every chance that he's had a chance to be in Miami. So I want you to join me in welcoming to the virtual stage, Jessie Boykins III.
Hello, everybody. Jenna, that was beautiful, Jenna. That was beautiful. I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Aja, for having me, and thank you everybody for being a part of this. I wrote like all these words. I write so much words. You know, I don't know if anyone has that problem, but I just like these damn words. And I've written so many songs in my life, and even more poems, although I don't consider myself a poet. You know, I feel like I'm smooth like one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I got the poet swag, but I'm not. Anyway, all right. So look, I'm gonna sing this song, right? It's called Grayscale. And I wrote it about my concept of harmony. You know, like what, it's just a concept of harmony, you know, in any medium of expression, just what it feels like to me. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get it down Acapulco for y'all right quick. So bear with me. Let me see. The wind, it comes, it goes, I move with every breath you make. The line that fades, I cross, I go. I don't mind the mistakes. Whatever to find the bond, something to prosper on. An endless journey home. The air it breathes, I breathe, you breathe, and all that encounters us. The depth it grows deep within. Shelter we build and trust. Closed eyes guide me through. Closed lips seek you. An endless journey home. The force is gone. The nature's strong. The green bathes the gray. The force is gone. The feeling's on. The nature turns to day. Blinded by the tone of view, I fuel, the truth is known. The air is braille, I sense you're frail, so I need to hold on. Closed eyes guide me through. Closed lips seek you, an endless journey home. I roam along, I trip, I fall into your open arms. Your tenderness, it beams the best when we are alone. Whatever illuminates, whatever brings green to gray, an endless journey home. The earth, it feeds, I feed, you feed, and all that encounters us. The depth, it grows deep within, shelter we build and trust. Whatever illuminates, whatever brings green to gray, an endless journey home. So that's Grayscale. Yeah. So this morning I wrote some things, and I mean, I feel like they're just like, I feel like I write a lot of things that are versions of what I feel we could be and what I feel we want to be, and also where we come from. You know, it's kind of like the three, I guess, as past, present, and future. You know, and I like to play in all those worlds at the same time if possible. Very whimsical, to say the least. So I wrote this story. It's called The Boy and His Cot. Once upon a time in a land much like this, there was a boy. His skin glowed in the dark, and the sun was forever in love with his royalty. Although he didn't have a home, he decided to make his own. The first thing that Black boy made was a cot. He found all the pieces of comfort in solitude, all the layers of sanctuary and solace, and wrapped them in a velvety gold sheet. He soaked it in lavender oil and blessed it with all the powers that incubate peace. He felt accomplished. That day was his day, until the night came, and with it, a white wolf. The wolf wanted somewhere to sleep, somewhere comfortable with solitude, and I guess you could say he needed a sanctuary. The boy offered to share, and the wolf gladly accepted. The boy not realizing without the sun he wasn't protected. Soon after his offer, the wolf took over, and that boy was left to find solitude all over. So he gathered what he had left, created something even stronger, built a prosperity altar, then found some sticks and bricks, put them together so he could protect himself from the bad weather, and locked it up with a key. The white wolf couldn't get in or move to his trends. Funny thing is, that little Black boy could give it all up because he knew he could make anything when he closed his eyes to see. Because the power has always been and will always be within we. And that's called The Boy and His Cot.
Thank you, Jessie. You wrote that today?
This morning.
This morning. Wow. Can you explain a little bit what's behind you? We didn't talk about that.
Oh,
homage.
This is my arts and crafts room, and I do arts and crafts in this room, and I put things on walls sometimes. And on this wall is basically all the photos that I have from my whole life. So yeah, this is just like some of them. I'm not gonna like show y'all. Get into it, but yeah, it's just like my childhood and then college and then past college and things of that nature. Thanks for asking about that.
Yeah. Well, you all are multi-talented. So thank you so much for your words and for sharing your gift with us. Before we had a talk, a tech run with everyone before we went live with you all, and one of the things we shared about was how many days we've been just crying and experiencing all the ranges of emotions. And I just want to thank you, Jessie, for coming and bringing your full self here. So moving on to the next person, my brother from another, Mr. Samora Pinderhughes is an incredible songwriter, friend, comrade, someone that I really think takes takes on the torch of really trying to bring music to the people and write songs that speak to our moment. And I'm so inspired by your commitment to your craft, Samora. And so I'm really glad that you all get to hear him today. Please join me in welcoming Samora Pinderhughes.
Do the mute thing. I'm so grateful to be a part of this. This is really, really something I needed in this moment. So thank you, Aja, and thank you to all these beautiful writers and musicians and artists. It always feels so good to not be alone. I debated whether or not to do this first song, but I do feel like I have to do it. This is a song that I wrote a couple years ago called For Those Lost, For Those Taken. And I wrote it in honor of the memory of Sandra Bland. But tonight I dedicate it to the memory of Breonna Taylor. Promise me I'll be alive when I leave home. Promise me I'll be alive when I drive alone. Stoplights could be murder. Movements could be murder. Conversations be murder. Oh, promise me I'll be alive when I leave my home. Promise me I'll be alive when I drive alone. Stoplights could be murder. Movements could be murder. Steel bars and they put a charge on my name. Now I think they got me back in chains. If I die before you wake, I need you to know that I was looking forward to my new job tomorrow. But these lights my life may take when I'm on the road back. I can't stand the sirens. I hear them and I know what follows. I told myself I won't break. They shouted a warning. They made up a story. They said I resisted and I might go missing. All my mama does is pray. She'll wake in the morning and not be in mourning. That's why I just need you to listen. Promise me I'll be alive when I leave my home. Promise me I'll be alive when I drive alone. Stoplights could be murder. Movements could be murder. Conversations be murder. Oh, promise me I'll be alive when I leave my home. Promise me I'll be alive when I drive alone. Stoplights could be murder. Movements could be murder. Conversations lead to confrontations. Can't take you no further. Thank you. I'm sorry to, I know that that's raw for a lot, so I hope that it wasn't a mistake to do that. But I did want to honor, you know, a lot of times I'm so proud to be a part of this community, rising up in this moment. That shit is hard though, and you know, as we're doing that, we obviously have to take care of each other. And I just want to say, you know, however I need to take care of people, you know, just call on me, because this shit is hard. Shit is hard. So I want to do the other part of that, the other side of that now, what I believe to be my healing, and this is a song called Process. This is dedicated to all of us who are living this right now. And it's crazy actually that it's called Process, because I know, Kelsey, earlier you were talking about processing. And you know, this is something we're all trying to do in this moment in so many different ways. So I hope that this gives life to that in this moment. And I hope that we all know that as we are so tired and so weary and so pained and always trying to find ways to move through that, every day that we wake up, we are also victorious, you know. There's some things that I don't want to admit, so I try not to think about it. There's a lot of ugly things in my heart. I just hope to the Lord I don't slip. Feel me? So there's some things that I don't want to admit. So I try not to think about it. There's a lot of ugly things in my heart. I just hope to the Lord I don't slip. I wonder what it's like to let it out. That part of me that I'm so afraid of. It holds on me and tosses me about. Doesn't seem to be something I get away from. Tell me, how do you name those well-kept secrets that you never say out loud? And why does the body see these demons but keep me from calling out? I guess I'll just say it's a process, one day at a time. There have been weeks when I already lost it, but I came back every time. So there's a whole entire world that I've created in my mind, and it's so much more real than the one I see outside. I've populated it with people who can see that I'm no good, and who know all the best places where I can go to hide. And I'm haunted by the ghost of my best friend who just left me to head to the next world. But I'd like to believe it's the West End with a room full of art and his best girl. And it's positive that I can feel him, but I don't know if I took advantage of the times he was right in the next room, because my pain was, I couldn't stand it. Tell me, how do you name those well-kept secrets that you never say out loud? And why does the body see these demons but keep me from calling you out? I guess I'll just say it's a process, one day at a time. There have been weeks when I already lost it, but I came back every time. When you ask me what's wrong, you might think I don't hear you, but that's not the case. I just might not respond. I don't want to be near you because I'm so ashamed. I just keep the TV on and just let it wash over all of these many fears. And hope I wake up less weary tomorrow morning. And hope I wake up less weary tomorrow morning. Please, God, hope I wake up less weary. I guess I'll just say it's a process. I guess I'll just say it's a process. One day at a time. There have been weeks when I already lost it, but I came back every time. I guess I'll just say it's a process. Guess I'll just say it's a process. Guess I'll just say it's a process. One day at a time. There have been weeks when I already lost it. I guess I'll just say it's a process. I guess I'll just say it's a process. One day at a time. There have been weeks when I already lost it. I guess we just say it's a process. I guess I'll just say it's a process. One day at a time. There have been weeks when I already lost it, but I came back every time. Yes, I came back every time. Yes, I came back every time.
Oh, I love you, Samora.
I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Want everyone to just take a moment to breathe, take a deep breath, and trying to hold it together here. We're all trying to hold it together. I think the biggest thing is for all of you to know that you're not alone, and we're gonna push through. We're gonna push through. So song has a way of tapping into our deepest, darkest, and most revelatory parts of ourselves. I think all art does that when it's truly at its greatest. So I call on all of us to support our artists, especially during these times. Those of us who are very sensitive spirits, I think we all are, but we all know that artists go into some deep and dark places to produce the work that we so love. And sometimes we sit there and praise and applaud something and don't realize what it took that artist to go through to get to that piece of that you love so much. So to just remember to be patient with those who are creating during this time, to love on those who are creating during this time, and to those who aren't, you know, to those who just need to nurture and take care of themselves. I love you all. So I just want to say that. I just wanted to say that. Thank you. Moving to the next person on the virtual stage. So strange to be connecting with all of you through this. Like, I want to hug you. That's where I'm at right now. It's just kind of weird to be in this place, but we're going to make the most of it. Jametta Rose is an incredible singer, writer, poet, I would say. And I have not gotten to spend as much time as I would like to, but anytime we're doing something, it's just really beautiful to see people from across, from wherever, always trying to support one another and lift each other up. And no matter what we're going through or what we're trying to make happen, like Jametta's always just like showing love. And I just wanted to say that. I want to say thank you for that. I never got to say that to you, but it's hard doing and creating during these times and trying to organize people. And I know everybody's going through things, but when we reach out and collaborate, that's where the revolution starts, you know? So Jametta, just thank you for being a presence of emanating love every time that I've reached out to you or witnessed you. So please join me in welcoming Jametta Rose.
Thank you so much, Aja, for having me. I was having a few technical difficulties earlier, so let me just send love and peace and protection to all the artists that are a part of this today. It's an honor to share this space with you. Thank you for being transparent and vulnerable. My name is Jametta Rose. For everyone watching that may not know, I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised, singer, songwriter. I'm a reactor to life. I take what life gives me and I try to make things of it. I founded the Choir Voices of Creation. Shout out to VOC. I love you guys. I have 2 poems and a song for you guys today. With the year 2020, I think so much clarity has come to the work that is necessary from us as artists and from us as citizens of the world. And we are interconnected, and it is a war on our very livelihoods and also on our ability to connect and love one another. And so I just want you guys to know that I'm completely and thoroughly dedicated to love, and to that love of writing a new story for us all. And so I just say that before I begin. So much love to every life that we have lost, but thank God for the breath in our bodies right now that allows us to still continue. And I pray that what we build is so much more beautiful to witness and experience than this thing that we have to self-medicate to even look at. You know, I hope you guys are taking care of your souls. All right. The blackness that surrounds. This is my skin. This is what holds me together. In case in a state of emergency, I am clinging to ghosts of a confidence fading. Why am I hated so much here? Staring, constantly staring, fondling the fragrance of my being, hoping to gain insight. Inside, we are so similar, yet you only see the difference. I can feel it when I walk into a room. My wide hips must make your heart flutter. I am not sorry. You are not affected. You are not lying dead on streets all across America. The eyes, they'll trick you into believing that light can be different colors. The eyes may not be our worthiest guide. Reality smothered into the small space of vision. Dismiss them, they say. But what of the blind man? How did he learn to hate? A tangible Tawny I must be. Even without senses, you can sense me. No wonder you think me extraordinary. Cut from the cloth of amazing. Able to catch bullets underwater and not get wet. Only dead because it's a cover up. Everyone's hands are up. And it doesn't even matter that black body was never near the lake. That black man was only selling CDs and tapes. They say she hung herself one night real late. The facts, they stack high against me. I am black. Guilty before given the benefit of the doubt. Born suspect. No one is ever surprised to see me die. Black blood is a casualty of living, it seems. A calculated loss. This is my skin. This is what of emergency. I am clinging to a confidence that is fading into the haze of this sunny afternoon, blue with the blackness that always surrounds. Perhaps I am more than this world can learn to love. Perhaps it is a revolution to love myself. That's that one. I think I'll do the song in the middle. I'm gonna sing, I just sing, you know. I almost brought my yellow tambourine, but y'all wasn't ready and neither was I, so I left the yellow tambourine, you know. But this song is called Continuum Sickness, and it is about racism. And upon writing the song, I thought about the many times I've heard my people, Black people, apologize for being what and who we are, and feel like our lives are a burden. And I said, this is a sickness, you know, and it's a continuum sickness. It's like a sickness that we can't really quite figure out how it's passed on, because people claim they're not teaching their kids this no more, you know? And so anyway, with that I say, I wrote this song in response to these feelings. Don't pardon the skin I'm in. It's not a sin. Black is the universe we're living in. Framing your blue skies, holding the stars. You toss your prayers to heaven, stare at me in awe. 'Cause my skin is darker, darker than yours. Is that the only way we see each other? What helps you get by? What hue is your heart? Are your pockets tall? Your spirit sure? There is a sickness in America. It keeps the people miles apart. I hope we find love in America. We've got to feel life with our heart. There is a sickness in America. It keeps the people miles apart. I hope we find love in America. Not just in theory, but in law. Don't pardon the skin I'm in. It's not a sin. Black is the universe we're living in. Framing your blue skies, holding the stars. You touch your breath to heaven, stare at me in awe. 'Cause my skin is darker, darker than yours. Is that the only way we can see each other? What helps you get by? What hue is your heart? Are your pockets tall? Your spirit short? Tell me your secrets across the divide. We've got to heal each other this time. I didn't really decide how to end that, so that's my offering of that. I'm feeling away, so I got my poem, my last poem, and then I thank you guys so much for this space to be honest about how we're feeling and to be vulnerable. I'm tired of the sirens, tired of people dying before their lives begin on street corners where even the wind doesn't blow by anymore. The youth don't get grown anymore around here. Numb to the violence, the people live in silence provided by soundproof windows. And though everyone knows that lives ending abruptly is sad, we can only cry when it's someone close, someone we knew, a person who used to borrow our clothes or eat our mother's fried chicken, ride to church with you on Sunday or play with your children. Only then is the predator too close. The stranger's life is less relevant, I suppose. I'm tired of feeling these same things. I'm looking for a way to change things. I don't want to look far away to see better dreams. Why can't I breathe here? I still dream here. And although these dreams are shaky, filled with doubt, and plenty of reasons why they may not come true, I know that this existence, as small as it is not the only truth. And so I close my eyes and imagine sirenless afternoons, nights, where poverty and godlessness are the only things people fight, where equality is shared by all complexions of life, and where little boys and little girls know that dreaming is their right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jametta. Thanks for bearing with us and pulling through with the tech, because you look lovely and you sounded lovely, and that was so powerful and necessary. I wish you could have seen everybody's responses while y'all are going through. That's such a big part of performing, is the call and response. So it's unfortunate that this day and age, you guys can't really truly experience that, but there was so much love being extended. Moving into this portion, before we get into the little second half, we wanted to give an opportunity for all the artists to talk about some of the practices that they might have to help with processing, ironically, during this time. We're one of the biggest things I would say, the first thing I'm gonna say is turn off your phone. If you gotta put an alarm on your phone or on your, folks are addicted and have a relationship to social media and technology in a different way than ever before. And we've yet to truly study the impact this has on our lives and our well-beings. I think there should be, there needs to be, courses for people on how to really, really process the changes that we're going through in the age of technology. But in the meantime and in between time, it is really important to create a practice of not looking at your phone before you go to bed, giving yourself at least an hour before the distance between you looking at your phone and putting your head down. Trying not to keep your phone in your room. One of the things that I'm trying to commit to myself is to get an alarm clock like we used to have back in the day. So that you're not depending on your phone is no longer just a phone, right? It's now a multifunctional device. It's your camera, it's your alarm clock, it's your newscaster, it's everything. So trying to really compartmentalize some things so that you have something left for you in the day that is not disrupted by and being inundated with constant news. I think it's important to stay informed, but it's also important, especially as Black people, to create some sanctuary for yourself, sanctuary time. So that's like the first thing I would like to offer. And I'm gonna let others offer for themselves. Please take yourselves off mute if you'd like to share.
I feel you, Aja. My name's Def. Hi, Def Sound. I feel you on, I'm really gonna get an alarm clock, you're right. And I think something right now is creating new rituals for ourselves. Something that been a part of, there was a group of artists that we were all supposed to go on tour a week before quarantine was called officially. And we still get together on Zoom and we listen to an album together all the way through. So we have weekly listenings and we just choose a record, and it's really keeping us like still talking, still speaking with each other, still engaging with music in a way where I think that our attention is usually fragmented into like singles or Spotify this or whatever. It's like the art of the album has really continued to bring us together. And also another one of the artists in the group started they already had one, a physical every month artist support group. And so it's turned into bi-weekly now that we're on Zoom. And that's been really beautiful and eye-opening and connective. Even though we're through these screens, there's still an energy here. There's still an energy that we're sharing, and understanding that putting, like when I'm thinking of remedies that are physical, putting lemon on everything. like lemon on, massage your kale. You have the time to. I feel like turmeric, ginger, that's the tea. We had the throat coat tea here with the ginger straight up. It's been really fire. And two last things that I have to just share is that more than ever, I've been journaling. And we're living in a time that is, it's history that's happening right now. The things that we're thinking are valid, and we're in a moment of writing history. We are writing history right now. So that's one thing. And the last thing I just want to recommend taking the time to remember to breathe, like actually breathe. And you have the time to read stuff too. So the two books that I'm reading right now are Revolutionary Mothering by Alexis Pauline Gumbs. And I feel like I'm giving birth to a new self during this quarantine incubation time, and also reading The Water Dancer, Ta-Nehisi Coates. So that's what I have to offer at this time. Thank y'all so much for this platform, for sharing yourselves. Thankful.
Thanks, Def. Any others?
I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times when I'm creating things, I feel like there has to be like a purpose for it, you know, like reason why I'm doing it. Like my intention is to make the world change with this song I'm writing. And what I've been doing is not doing that at all. I've been just creating with the intention just to tap into my subconscious. And that's not even just writing songs. Like, I don't know, I sketch for like an hour. I doodle, you know what I mean? Like I see what patterns my mind has in my head and what comes out and what I could just to look at it. I don't even, you know, and I think it's also been very good to be, you know, active, you know, like physically active, you know. I don't know about y'all, but I've been on my nature vibes, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm outside, like I'm by the trees, you know, like I'm at the park, I don't care. Like I'm gonna be outside, you know. So I think it's very important to to be able to, like you said, put your phone away, you know, Aja, and be in the moment, you know, and realize, you know, how, like, all the power around you. You know what I'm saying? So those moments of acknowledgement kind of like settle things, you know, because it's always so busy in here, you know, there's so much happening and so much to do and, you know, so many things to accomplish. And, you know, sometimes it's like, it's okay just to not care about any of that and just be with yourself, you know? So
Right.
just be with yourself. It's important.
Jeff always has the lines. He said, put your phones down and pick ourselves up.
Yeah, I like that bar.
Vibes. Yes. Anything else? Anything else you guys are doing that is helping center you or being useful in your healing practice?
Yeah, I've been planting a lot. I read Water Dancer and Ever, you know, a couple of months back, and when I read it, I just, all of a sudden I was like, why can't I grow things? Or why don't I grow things, rather? And then I kind of went down the rabbit hole of what you can grow from things that you have, and just watching something else grow kind of gives you a sense of purpose. So I propagated my entire refrigerator. Just put those Johns in water, and I got lettuce, and you know, and I rely on my other senses when one is too overworked. So I have a lot of incense burning. I have a lot of candles burning all the time. Smell does a lot for, surprisingly. Just doing other things other than music, especially because it's a career path. Trying to preserve that emotion by not overworking it, by working other senses as well.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you, Jenna.
Yeah.
I have been taking long baths, eating very good, healthy food that I prepared for myself because the quarantine is making me stay home. Finding out that I can make lemon basil curry. I found out I could do my hair. Thank you. Okay, holla, shout out, you know, because that is a thing, you know. You stuck at home. I had to call my hairdresser. I was like, girl, I'm not cheating on you, but I did find this YouTube video. And like, I just have been really, you know, trying to massage myself into this fight. I feel like the recharge is as necessary as the pow. So, you know, for my punch to be full and honest and like, you know, real, I need to take care of my life. You know, we out here talking about whether life matters, which should never be a question, but like, if mine matters to me, you know, here's what I'm doing. And so I tried to get my choir to meet me on Zoom. Some of them did. We did yoga, and I led the yoga class. And then I'm like, all right, y'all, everybody got a jump rope. And so, yeah, they hated me, but you know, we traveled the world in an act of meditation with the jump rope, and you know, just trying to utilize what we have to make ourselves find the whimsy, find the joy in life. And that's what I've been doing, getting plants, you know, trying to get back into my art. Live this life.
Yes, yes. Kelsey Lou, you had something too?
Yes, live this life. Here for that. I feel like Jessie was speaking on this earlier, and Bianca had talked about having morning pages, which has been really helpful of clearing space and weight off of my mind, my body, just allowing space for so many other things that are important to be there. I feel like, I mean, with technology, we're being confronted with things at such a high volume constantly. And as artists, when we write, a lot of the times we want to write poetically. We want to write where we're like, if somebody sees this, they're going to be like, damn, that's popping. And just writing in the morning, just releasing words, releasing whatever's on your mind, even if you're like, I don't have anything to say right now, literally writing that out. And I feel like, obviously, like, writing is important, and we've probably done it since having a diary since we were little, things like that. But making it a ritual in the morning where you're just not thinking about it, you're not looking back at it, it's been really, really grounding for me. And I feel like a lot of the same things of lemon water, like, it's key. It is key. As being the first thing that you put into your body, and flushing it up through your system. And I've also been going outside and taking, sort of just foraging from trees or plants, and having them around and in my aura, I think has also been just helpful of appreciating what's here, breathing the air, closing your eyes, letting the sun hit your face. If you're in a place where you don't have sun, imagine it being there. Taking the clouds, whatever it is, nature is key, and it's where we come from. And bonding with that is really important. So.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna take some more. If you guys have any more, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll share them with people. I wanna just say thank you all for sharing some of your practices. It's really crucial to this time. I pray that all of you who are watching are finding ways to spend time with yourselves. No matter what you believe or what theories you be watching and spending time with, I do believe we're reaching into the divine feminine age era. There is a transformation and a shift. There is a cultural shift. There is a systemic shift, and there's a physical, psychological, spiritual shift that is happening. I know all of us feel it. You fronting on yourself if you claim that you do not. Things are changing, and what that means is also our responses and how we move in the world has to change. And I know that we're in a time of uprisings. We're in the time of like wanting to tear shit down and bring chaos among the world. And I think feminine energy is really, really great at understanding how to harness the chaos in the efforts of creativity, and to also learn how to channel that for healing. So we can do as much as we want in terms of expression at the protests and at the rallies, et cetera, but it's really even that much more important who you show up as at home, how you love, how you cook, how you prepare your meal. You have to love yourself. We can't create this fight just off of who we're against and what we're fighting. Because we will absorb that violence, we will absorb that hatred, and it will permeate into every facet of our lives. So you have to be mindful of not taking on that energy that is not yours, to rebuke the spirit of racism, which is, it's an illness, right? To rebuke the spirit of demonic, evil violence that is perpetuated against Black and brown people and indigenous people, to understand that we are not of that. And to not absorb that, to not allow it to seep into your frequency, to do as much as you can to cleanse, create baths. There are good cleanses. I can also put a list of them to make sure that you have some sort of relationship to bathing, not just for the sense of being cute and smelling good and et cetera, but really praying over yourself as you bathe, making sure that you're releasing negative thoughts, that you, when a fearful or frightening thought comes into your brain, to make sure that you release that and send it back to wherever it came from, because it does not belong to you. So these are crucial to our survival, especially in this time, to create those rituals, as Def said, those practices, because all of this is ritual. right? As you wake up in the morning and create the schedules in your life, that's a ritual. You're creating practices that make your life what it is. So I say that to say, I love y'all. Please take care of yourselves during this time. It's so crucial. We ain't gonna have nobody to fight for if you ain't here. So take care of yourself. The next person going up is someone I love, I adore, is always shy, and I gotta pull and fight and, you know, do everything to get them to just step into the magicness of them. But I get it, you know, it's hard out here. And I want you to know that we love you, Erin, and your voice is so necessary, and you always light up and bring healing to a space. So please join me in welcoming Erin Allen Kane.
Thanks, Aja. No, but for real, thank you for having me. Thank you to every other artist and every other participant in this. Everything's been exactly what I needed. That's my dog crying, I'm sorry. But thank you so much. Yeah, I'll just get right into it. I wrote this song back in like 2015. That year, I believe like over 100 people, Black people, were murdered by police, including Sandra Bland. That year, 36% of unarmed people killed by the police were Black, despite only making up 13% of the population. I was angry as hell, and basically I wrote this just about the reverberating like pain of having to bear witness to, you know, Black people dying at the hands of this gang of racists that we call the police. And so I was in the studio one day with like my manager, and we were talking about everything, and I kind of just like went to the piano and started playing like 3 notes. And then the first thing that came out of my mouth was, how many times do I have to tell you? And I just kept going with it. And in the song, I kind of repeat certain phrases that I say because it was just kind of like stream of consciousness. Like that's how I'm processing everything. I was just asking myself over and over again these same questions. And so I just kind of like put it into song, and I was gonna just read it, but Aja wants me to sing it, so I'm gonna try my best to do this. Okay. Yeah. How many times do I have to tell you? How many times do I have to tell you? We go on and on and on, Fido. How many times go on and on and on, Fido? How many times? How many lives do we have to give up? How many lives do we have to give up? We march on and on and on, march on. How many lives march on and on and on, march on? How many lives? How many lies will they have to tell you? How many lies will they have to tell you? They'll win on and on and on. We know. How many lies win on and on and on? We know. How many lies? Untether me now, I want to see the light in my wings, oh. Unbreakable heart, these eyes have seen everything. Untether me now, I want to see the light in my wings, oh. Unbreakable heart, these eyes have seen everything. Enough asking why, no trust for lies. no more tears to cry. This death of freedom, my sacrifice. Your sacrifice. Enough for asking why. Why can't we reason? Give me a reason. That was how many times? I got real emotional. I'm sorry. Yeah, so there's that. And then I was just gonna read the words from a song that I wrote about generational trauma. I came out with a project where Aja actually kind of narrated it. And so I wrote this song because I realized that a lot of like the traumas that my mother lived through were passed down and were things that like I didn't really know existed. They were kind of in my subconscious, but I was, acting out in certain ways. And so I wrote this song. It's called Fragile. And I'll just read it like a poem. I don't know how this is gonna come across, but okay. My mother was a blind architect. Her mother was too. Designing huge walls no man could ever get through. Born with a brick heart and mortar tongue, they made do. Now the only thing I know is to build those same walls too. Don't you build it too tall, it may never fall. The air is getting thin, you're still human, fragile woman. My mother taught me the way to operate a crane, carrying heavy loads with a smile in pouring rain. These walls I'd perfected left me unprotected from this emptiness inside. No asking why, just get out while there's still time. Don't you build it too tall, it may never fall. The air's getting thin, you're still human, fragile woman. And that's it. And yeah, I'm not really like a poet or one for words or anything, but yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate this. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Samora, for allowing me to cry today. I really needed that. Yeah, so yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're a poet, so we're going to stop that. I think just to everybody's comments that were in the chat, like, she's not shy. She's not, but she's self-deprecating shy. So it's a different kind of shy, it's like,
Be quiet.
Like she's actually like very lively, boisterous personality. It's great. But when it comes to her singing, she be self-deprecating. It's, we all have our things. We all have our things. It's okay. But she's so talented. Thank you so much for sharing. Fragile. When I first heard that song, I cried. I think most Black girls have some sort of relationship to struggling with healing their mother wounds and all of that. So that song is really such a deep one for me. The next person coming to the virtual stage, I'm so excited. I've been a fan and I got to meet her at this incredible festival called Form. And it's wild. I never experienced anything like it in life. And I just remember being so amazed and enamored with her colorfulness and her creativeness and her artistic presence in the world. She's an artist in every way. And I think she moves in the world like an incredible being. Like I just look at her and I'm like, I'm inspired automatically. And she's also just someone that is so talented, has such an incredible talent, multiple gifts at playing instruments. And I hope you all please go support and follow her work. She's also an artist. She's does everything. So please join me in welcoming to the virtual stage, Kelsey Lou.
Ooh, thank you for having me. Thank you for that gracious introduction. I'm just going to get right into it. I've got 3 poems. 2 of them are original poems that I wrote myself. The last one has been a part of my sort of daily ritual of sonics. Alice Coltrane is a teacher and a healer and a guide, I think, for a lot of us. And when I first moved to LA, I'm born and raised originally from North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. And when I was living in LA, I would just listen to her every day, every morning. She was the first thing that I listened to and provided me a lot of healing and still does. And this past week, she's back on the top of my daily sonic bathing. And yeah, so that's going to be a part of the reading, the last bit. So the first one was written in 2016 when I was spending a lot of time in London and experiencing American Black deaths from across the world. And the bathtub is a place that I feel like I do a lot of processing. And yeah. Her mind can reach the highest peaks, steady on throughout the week. Then the next one comes along with it. Manic Depression's love song. From the stranger's point of view, they couldn't see all she's been through. She won't play the victim, that card's run loose. It's been buried away in a box with a noose. In the safety of her bathtub, she sweats out her fears, confides in the echoes that reach beyond ears. Who's there to confide in? Trust is a new lust. As murky as this water is, expectations are a bust. Will they be protection from yourself? Set the boundaries. And the next poem is called The Greatest Show on Earth, which was written within the past month or so. Time is a construct. The disappointment of self reaches for the acceptance of self. The balance of a healthy satisfaction of self-confidence held on by a thread, binded to the ego, to survive off of, like the nation's eagle. Trepidations wait as a rusty anchor. He'll spite somebody's help, blame it on another when we can't recover. All the time we lost in hell, conspiracies to cover. No need to get a ticket. We're all front row to the greatest show on earth.
Mm.
And then the last one is a poem by Joe Henderson from this song called Earth by him and Alice Coltrane. And this one really hits on a deeply personal level. I was lucky enough to perform for Alice's birthday at MoMA PS1 a few years ago. And I performed this song, and feeling her presence in the room was so otherworldly. She was just this bouncing ball of light. She's like swimming around the air. And so this poem really brings it all back to that place, and then also a reminder of that now is the time, and the time is now. Time, 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 time. Suffocator of the woven now, dreams of tomorrow, where we will find the distant distance and on a new journey to hold us. Time, time, time. Peace, love, hope, moving on the wings of the moment now. Time, time, time. Children of the soil rejoice. Yesterday was, tomorrow never is. Time is now. Time. Time is only now. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Kelsey, Lou. Thank you so much for your dedication and your art and your words as well. You all are feeding me and so many people, and I just hope that you guys take the necessary time to feed yourselves and let us know how we could be supportive. The next incredible poet, singer, songwriter, activist in her own right. I think the reason why I'm so grateful that this person said yes and was able to make it is because I've seen them. I'll never forget the first time I saw them at a poetry reading, singing, and being so wrapped up in the way that they were able to sing the words and the tone of their voice. She doesn't overdo or underdo anything. I think she's just found a way to really tell a story and sing it so that it feels accessible for us to sing too. And the way she writes is so profound and always trying to really bring people into a movement, into a conversation, I think she teaches with her songs as well. You can tell that she's a teacher. And I think that that's such a beautiful aspect of how she writes songs. So I want to say thank you for doing that. Jamila, I know so many little Black girls that are watching right now, listening and loving that they get to hear you and see you. And I think that's such a beautiful way for us to help also the range of our voices and our Black women right now, to feed other Black women's voices out into the world and to help uplift those voices. So all of you, thank you for joining tonight, and please join me in welcoming Jamila Woods.
Thank you, Aja. Thank you to everyone, and thank you for holding this space. I feel like it's opened a portal into my feelings and my emotions in a way that I needed. And this, I think I was reflecting on growing up feeling like I was very sensitive and very often tender and thinking of that as a weakness. And I'm reminding myself a lot these days that it's important for us to tap into that. It's our humanity. And this first song, it's inspired by an interview with Basquiat, where the interviewer is asking him, do you ever get angry? And it's only like a minute-long video, but I kind of projected my own interpretation of it. Seeing Basquiat is often seen as like this, the genius child. He's this kind of a Black man, but very artsy and gentle. And I guess I kind of related to his response being to the white man who was interviewing him, asking, do you ever get angry? Because you couldn't. And he was kind of just like, he paused for like almost a whole minute. And was like, of course I do. And then the interviewer said, "What makes you angry?" And then he paused again and was like, "I don't remember." And I just felt, I read into a moment of resistance into that pause. And I thought it spoke to me as a person that my anger, I think, sometimes looks like tears, or, you know, sometimes look different. So. They want to see me angry. They want to see me bare my teeth, yeah. I'm a stovetop baby. I smile in your face, but the oven's on high. Don't get burned. I told you that I'm anti. I'm reclusive, I sleuth it. I already know what you're thinking about me. Are you mad? Yes, I'm mad. What make you mad? I don't fucking know. You should tell me so. You done it. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Are you mad? Yes, I'm mad. What make you mad? I can't recall. I plead the fifth. Writings on the wall. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. After all, these teeth are not employed. You can't police my joy, no. After all, my smile is not employed. You can't police my joy. It's like they want me to be. They're trying to provoke me. The shit hereditary, but pressurizing in me. Some days I'm almost carefree. Some days I wish I could be. So many women in me. You beggars can't be choosy. It's like they want me to be. They're trying to provoke me, but pressurizing in me. Some days I'm almost carefree. Some days I wish I could be. So many women in me. You beggars can't be choosy. Thank you guys. Zoom fright is way stronger than stage fright. I don't know why. But the next thing I was gonna do is read a poem. This poem is written after Amiri Baraka, and I've been thinking a lot about, well, when I wrote this poem, I was thinking how important utility is for my art. Like Aja was saying, like I'm a teacher too, and just feeling like wanting to be able to have poems and songs I can use to teach and just that feel useful in the world. And recently I've just been feeling very useless just in terms of where I can put my physical body or what skills I have. Like, why don't I have my driver's license? What was I thinking? I just like, I need to be having more tools and kind of getting down on myself. And so this is a reminder to anyone else who might be feeling that way, is that we're all useful. We all have capacity to be useful in our own specific ways. It's called Black Girl Art after Amiri Baraka. Poems are bullshit unless they are eyeglasses, honey tea with lemon, hot water bottles on tummies. I want poems my grandma wants to tell the ladies at church about. I want orange potato words soaking in the pot till their skins fall off, words you burn your tongue on, words on sale 2 for 1, words that keep my feet dry. I want to hold a poem in my fist in the alley just in case. I want a poem for dude at the bus stop. Oh, you can't talk, ma? Words to make the body inside my body less invisible. Words to teach my sister how to brew remedies in her mouth. Words that grow mama's hair back, words to detangle the kitchen. I won't write poems unless they are an instruction manual, a bus card, warm shea butter on elbows, water, a finger massage to the scalp, a broomstick, sometimes used for cleaning and sometimes to soar. Thank you. Thank you guys. So this is the last song, and I wrote it, I want to say 2014. I really can't remember, 2014 or 2015. It was the year when Rekia Boyd was a Black woman who was my age at the time, was killed by an off-duty police officer, Chicago police officer, and named Dante Servin. And it was the night that we found out that he wouldn't be, that he would be acquitted and nothing was going to happen to him, and he's still being paid pension. And so that night I wrote this song thinking about the Black women who I've seen in the community and also historically be at the center of these movements, and who really inspire me and take care of me. It's called Black Girl Soldier. See, she's telepathic, call it Black girl magic. Yeah, she scares the government, deja vu atonement. We go missing by the hundreds. Ain't nobody checking for us, ain't nobody checking for us. The camera loves us, Oscar doesn't. Ain't nobody checking for us. They want us in the kitchen, kill our sons with lynchings. We get loud about it. Oh, now we're the bitches. Look at what they did to my sister last century, last week. They put her body in a jar and forget her. They love how it repeats. Look at what they did to my sister last century, last week. They make her hate her own skin, treat her like a sin. Oh, why? Why? But what they don't understand, see what they don't understand is, yeah, what they don't understand. See what they don't understand is she's telepathic, call it Black girl magic. Yeah, she scares the government, deja vu atonement. And she don't give a. Yeah, she don't give a. She don't give a. No, she don't give a. Rosa was a freedom fighter and she taught us how to fight. Ella was a freedom fighter, she taught us how to fight. Audrey was a freedom fighter, she taught us how to fight. Angela is a freedom fighter, she taught us how to fight. And what they don't understand, see what they don't understand is, yeah, what they don't understand. See what they don't understand is she don't give a, and she don't give a, she don't give a, no, she don't give a.
Whew. Thank you so much, Jamila. That song has played so many times in so many meetings, after movement meetings, before movement meetings, in between movement meetings, meditation meetings, before the movement meetings. It's just such a gem for our folks. And I just want to thank you for writing that song. I also want to lift up all the women who we don't talk about that are not on the physical front lines, but be on the emotional, psychological, and spiritual front lines, supporting our brothers who be on the front lines, and the families that, sustain our communities and have always remained nameless and unmentioned, So if you're home and, you feel like you're not being seen or heard in this moment, all that you do to provide and to take care of and keep a roof over and clothe and love your family, that is a revolutionary act, and it is more than enough for us to keep going. So we need that as much as we need anything else, and thank you for that work. Next and lastly, I want to just say that everyone has been lovely. Thank you so much for coming with your most authentic and full selves. And I want to introduce Mereba. I've been trying to get her to do something we've been trying to do something. And this worked out. And I just want to say thank you for saying yes and for your dedication to your craft. So please join me in welcoming to the virtual stage, Reneba.
Hello, everybody. Like Jamila said, Zoom Fright is real. So I'm going to take a deep breath and welcome you all to join me in that. And I think I'm going to start with this poem that is really more of a meditation mantra that I wrote, that I think I would like to dedicate to all of the people who are using their bodies and their voices protesting on our behalf right now. Just to remember to hold a moment of peace for yourself, however you can steal it throughout the day. So this is called Young Master. Find your center. Find your peace. Release. Your piece of relief is inside of you. Breathe. Be mighty as wind that surrounds you. Believe there's support where you stand. Love your center. Love your peace. And ease will crawl into your caverns. Keep at it. Don't claw or badger the matter. It's yours, young master. No need to chase after. All right, so this next one is one I wrote back in 2016. And what we were speaking about before we went live is how the time right now, what we're fighting for and what we're, feeling heavy because of is systemic and continues to happen. So reflecting back on some of my old writing has shown me to myself and shown the way that I felt before is still the way that I feel now. This piece is injecting a little bit of hope into the vision that I think is important to remember each step of the way. And this is called Shit Shifting. The world around me is changing. I can feel the plates shifting below my feet. I hear a man's meltdown as his power slips like sand. He misses his days of glory. It was gory. It was good. Where his story was the standard and he always was the handler and the handle filled the hoods. Scandals always fell on the other side of the table. It was fabled, it was bloody, it was horror. It was good. The word around me is changing. I hear fire come from parted lips. The darker ones with sharpened tongues, not as afraid to cut. My gut is housing dancers. A joy that's new, a quiet smile, the cautious relief of cancer. The body just overthrew. Of course, like any movement against the current goes, there's silence, then there's calling out quietly, hello. There's searching for your tribe's people and learning when they're not. There's the shifting of your plates. There's some hot volcanic rock. The royal now are wonders who see what's never been and toss the past like faded atlases in favor of their maps within. So this last one, well, no, I have two more. Yeah, I wrote this one this morning and yeah, I don't have a name for it yet. There are mighty ones among us on Main Street waiting for the bus, built for flowering the galaxy sent straight to the slums. Graceful, grit-filled, regal, wandering eyes flutter beyond the street. I know of the wealth beyond riches. It accounts for the counted out. I see closed hands the same color as mine, and when the levee breaks, they speak, but then they bend their necks the other way again. Will we allow them to lead us when the new vision is born? There are, after all, angels all among us. I slit the knot that tied my dreams to $1, more moved by the mighty ones on Main. But I know I won't find my righteous by winning the race towards whiteness. And this last one is one that I've released into the world and one that I've been thinking a lot about just because I think we're all fighting, you know, certain demons outside in the world and potentially within ourselves too right now. There's just so much uncertainty circling us, and I feel like it's important to remember our power and remember what we can cast upon those demons and how we can send those demons, like Aja said, back from where they came. So this is called Dodging the Devil. Damn. You stuck dodging the devil the older you get. Youth grants grace. Growth grants grit. But with that grit comes its known opposition, like addictions, evictions, convictions, lost visions, love riddled with truths hidden, world tripping. Shit just glitching, man. Here come the devil. Talking to you with a smile and a shovel, ready to bury you and your little hustle and give you some bills and a brand new muzzle. The piece of peace that you're perfect would release into the world would be a poison to the devil. So every chance is taken to take your light and sell it back to the sky. And for twice as high. You're wise now, though, know it. Don't plant a seed in your mind if you do not wish to grow it. You are fast motion kept in focus. Cash calls some people worthless, but what's just the hocus pocus? Pale folks, papas deem what work is. Broken people ain't always the brokest. And as for the devil, show it. No ruler can size you. No ruler should rule you, but the one that never binds you. Realize too, all that will try you is designed to unwind you, define you, but you do get to decide if its tide will capsize you. You see, the devil's been lied to. You see, the devil's been lied to. The devil could die too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of you for sharing.
What? Okay, way to leave us. Way to leave us. Okay, I'm ready to stretch out. I have to, so I'm gonna share a poem to close out everybody because I feel like a few people brought up this poem before, and I had 2 other poems that I thought I was gonna do about police and brutality and all this, and I was like, nah, we gotta end on Black joy. So this poem is called Black Joy. I wanna thank everyone for tuning in and the comments, the love, the vibration, the frequency. I hope you take this love with you wherever you go and know that you are not alone. You are the children of greatness, and ancestors are always with you. Make sure you say your prayers, and make sure you say your curses too, okay? We got to get back to understanding our true magic and the spells that we cast with our words and our tongues. These are spell casting mouths, so let's get to casting some spells, all right? That's what y'all need to be understanding again. So in the midst of that, this is Black Joy. Joy is the will. It is the dimple that has endured a dance so deep in a dark cheek, a wound without a scar, without a trace, is the humor of hurt, is the hell of being healed. Joy daps death, lives in the grin, singing from the blood, bathes in a smirk, testifies tenderness in a tear, is a smile silhouetted against the face, witnessing the want, the flower in the grenade, a rose in the concrete, a pirouette beside a barricade. It is the butterfly in the battlefield. It is disarming. It's the swing set in the middle of a gunfight. Dodging a bullet, a hopscotch and double dutch, fierce gaze, the side eye, the shade, the sass, the snap, the head nod, the turn up, the swag. Joy is righteous and ratchet. Joy twerks and taps, jukes and jives, Harlem shakes, electric slides, dirty wine, salsas on twos and rumbas. Joy is rhythm and repetition. Hums and harmony is the blues, is a song in a cotton field or central bookings or on a crowded subway. Joy is a song anywhere. Joy, bees in the trap, is a dilla beat in the Middle East, is fly, is finger licking good, is pastelas with black beans, or patty and cocoa bread, is fried chicken with barbecue sauce or buffalo sauce or hot sauce or any damn sauce. Joy is a recipe passed on, a language that survives, savory and sweet, toe curling, knocking boots, the fight, the fury is making love, to make up is the glow, is an entire day in a lover's arms, a carton of ice cream, a bed of books is illuminated in the aftermath, wrinkled lips, a pouted kiss, the shivering hips, the theater of thunder, joy is a story traveling through laughter, a rocking chair on a front lawn, a wind chime in a window, a barbecue in the backyard, subwoofers in a hoopty is melanin gathered in a room. It is the entourage. It is getting your friends in the club. Joy is all about vibes. It's a roof over your head. It's clothes on your back. It's free 99. It's having the rent when it's due or having no rent at all. It's no debt, no credit checks. Joy is shooting dice in a stairway, is getting a hand in spades, a double six scapico and dominoes, is hoops in a crate, is opening a fire hydrant in the heat. It is a 6-block wheelie through traffic with no handlebars in the rain. It is the catwalk. It's the voguing, the coming out, a crackhead with a dime bag and a dream, a fresh pair of white kicks with a check. It's bottle caps glued beneath dress shoes. It's $3 in the tank. It's catching rainwater in a tin cup, a firefly in your palm. It's buying sunflowers for yourself on a cloudy day. It's a moon in the sky as if in a school play. It's your father in the audience. Joy is skipping school or recess. It's a screen without static, aluminum foil antenna. It's when the belt buckle snaps or the switch breaks or your mom just gets too damn tired. It's waving down the ice cream truck, the fresh lineup, a clean doobie, the perfect coil to a curl, a loosened nap, a afro pick. Joy is the gift of gab. It's rapping your ass off. It's roasting or wrestling a sibling to tap out. It's yo mama jokes until it's yo mama. It's the first foot out the jail. It's the homecoming. It's the graduation. It's the step show at the probate. Joy is hugging the self. It's what conquers the heart and captures the blame. It's the madness of our meaning, the maturity of our memory. It's the irony of our forgetting. It's a helicopter 4 days after the hurricane on a roof with no water, no food. It's a mother picking her daughter up from foster care. It's smoking a joint and a cop car switching lanes. It's food stamps on the first of the month. It's no snitching. It's no snitching. It's loyalty, perseverance, protest, resilience, resistance. It's food after the funeral, the parade, the blessing, the curse. It's the call, the response, the prayer, the pulpit. It's evidence of things unseen. It's the hallelujah, the amen, the Holy Ghost. It's speaking in tongues when the Santos say you don't need no cleaning. It's the genetic heirloom. It's the portable promised land. It's the diaspora. It's making it overseas or making it over the Mason-Dixon line. Joy, joy, joy is family. It's brotherhood. It's sisterhood. It's feeling another's dimple in your face. It's together, 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 unified on the front lines. Our joy will astonish the world because true joy is and has always been justice. I love y'all. I wish us more joy. Everybody turn off your mics. Go ahead. You turn on your mics. Go ahead. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Yeah. Jimmy, I love y'all. I ain't seen y'all in so long.